welcome back to my channel. My name is Kristen. Welcome if this is your first time stopping by. So we're starting in a weird spot. I am actually at my parents' house. I am dog sitting for them on top of course, watching my own dogs. They're all here together, a big pile of four puppies. So, or wait, a big group of 4 dogs. So it's been interesting. I originally was going to do a 24-hour read-a-thon, but I just don't know if that's realistic for me dog sitting. So what I'm going to do is just try to get through my February TBR and read as much as possible. So this is going to be our first reading vlog of 2024. And what better way to kick it off than talk about the book that I'm currently reading. So just to quickly recap what books are on the TBR this month, we have Love Theoretically, Killjoy. I'm trying to remember these off the top of my head. Love Theoretically, Killjoy, Kiss the Girl, Love in Other Words, Soulmate Equation, Divine Rivals. I'm like trying to picture my TBR cart at home. Love in the Time of Serial Killers or Betting on You, depending on which I'm in the mood for. Shady Hollow. I feel like I'm missing one. Can't remember the last one, but anyway. So I've already read a couple on the TBR. I've read Killjoy, Kiss the Girl, and Love Theoretically. So we are on, finally, Love in Other Words. And I am only 69 or 68 pages into the book. And I already know that this is going to hit me hard just based off of the dynamic of the 2 individuals that are like the main protagonists. But let's really quickly recap what I've learned so far. So we are in a dual timeline, which I did not know this was a dual timeline, and I don't know if that is going to be consistent throughout the entire book, but I'm assuming it is. And we meet Macy, who is, I'm assuming, around 29, 30, or about to turn 30, and she is talking about how back when she was like, I think, how old was she when she lost her mom? I'm trying to remember here. I think she was like 10. So it's supposed to be now and then 15 years in the past. But I think she was like 10 when she lost her mom to, I believe it was like cancer. And she talks about how her and her dad wanted to respect her mom's memory by purchasing or taking a weekend trip or finding a weekend getaway, and they literally found a date, like a weekend getaway. And so they're moving in, and she's walking in with her dad. She's looking at this new place that they're going to spend their weekends, and she goes into her upstairs bedroom, where in the closet, which is like, it sounds like it's the same size as like a whole bedroom, it's going to be her library, and she finds this boy sitting in there reading named Elliot. So Macy is talking about her past, and then we skip to future Macy, and she is in a new relationship. Actually, she's engaged in a newer relationship. Who the guy is super sweet. He has a daughter, and she's like meeting her friend from college for like coffee, and she meets Elliot, and all we know so far is that when she runs into Elliot, she panics because it's apparently been like 11 years since they've talked. So they've had some kind of uproar, which we haven't learned what the uproar is yet, but we do know that there are still feelings on both sides of the equation, and I'm very excited to see what happens. This is a longer book than I expected. I think it's over 400 pages, not by much, like almost exactly 400 pages, but so far I'm absolutely loving it, and I can just tell that it's gonna really hit like in the feels, and I know that a lot of people love this book, like truly as much as like it's like one of their favorite books of all time. Like this one and Archer's Voice are 2 of those books that people constantly talk about. So I'm very excited to see how it pans out for me. Very excited. Also, as I'm getting older, I am not getting like, I'm not losing my eyesight, but I was like starting to strain my eyes. So I got some new glasses, guys, like official lenses. So you're gonna be seeing me read with these because I'm instructed to read and also work on the computer with these glasses. So welcome to my new face, but Yeah, these are really, really cute. These are Prada frames, but very excited about them. I think that they're really cute, and it makes me feel some kind of way. So anyway, yeah, I'm just gonna read a little bit. I'm gonna be eating dinner soon, but I thought I would take a little bit of time, read, and then I'll catch you guys up when I get a little bit further into the book and kind of share some more of my thoughts and feelings and see where we go. Hey, so as you guys probably noticed that this video is actually going up a little bit later this week. My husband is getting surgery, so I've been focusing on that. But in the meantime, I wanted to do a quick reading update. So I finished Love in Other Words by Christina Lauren, and I sat on it for a day in terms of like what to rate it, because I don't think it made me feel as much as I expected, or how like other people talk about how it made them feel. So I felt a little bit iffy on my rating. I ended up settling on a 4.5. So it's not quite a 5, but not quite a 4. I just really loved everything about this book. It was easy to read. The character dynamic was amazing. The friendship, the love, the found family, just the realism to it too. And you can just feel everything that these characters feel, and that's kind of where I'm sitting with it. So very happy I finally read this, and it was a very good read. So in the meantime, I've switched to 2 different books. One is Things We Hide from the Light, and guys, I'm at page 42, and I feel like I've been reading this forever. This book is just so intimidating. I don't understand why a romance novel needs to be 578 pages, especially after reading like this book like hit so much, and it was 400. Like, and even 400 can be a lot, but it was easy to read. This reads slow. At least right now it's reading slow, and it's just long, and I'm very just like intimidated by reading it, but I do know that I'm going to love it once I get further into it. I really am intrigued by this perspective in this story because I really liked Nash in the first book, and this one focuses on Nash and Lena, and their dynamic is completely different than Knox and Naomi. So it's great kind of hopping back into this town and this like storyline, but because I read the first one so long ago, it's kind of a little bit hard to just kind of connect the dots and remember all the different pieces. But so far, I'm at page 42. Don't have too much to say except for that we know that Nash is grappling with a lot of issues from his injury and the situation in the first book. So that's all I want to say on that. And on the other hand, I am currently reading, I started Divine Rivals, and I'm only 6% through. This was my best friends and my, like, we have a little book. It's a book club slash just like more of like a buddy read. And we have been reading Divine Rivals for this month, and I got 6% through so far. And I have so much intrigue into this story, just how it's written. And I love Iris. Like, I feel so much for her because of just her situation and how much she has to fight for everything in her life. And that is just a lot that I can relate to. Not to that extreme, but definitely a lot more relatability to that. and how Roman is just like the total opposite. So I'm very excited to see where this goes, but it's very easy to read, very easy to get into, and this book is only 350 pages. So right now, I don't know what page I'm on, but let's just say like I really am enjoying reading it, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I do also have the physical copy, but because I don't want to carry around a brick in another book, another heavy book, I thought I would just read it on my Kindle for now. But yeah, that's just a little reading update for you guys, and I'll check back in later. So quick update. It has been a couple of days. I've been taking care of my husband post-surgery, but I have been reading, and I am close to halfway through. I am on page 248, so making slow but steady progress. This book, I don't think is what I expected. Like, I knew that we were going to be dealing with some trauma from Nash and his shot, but I didn't know like the repercussions of like, or at least like how it's going to be represented of like his reaction and his dealings post shooting, and like the need that he expresses for Lena from very early on in the story, and it just like is progressing through that. But it's just so different than what I expected. I'm not sure if I'm loving it 100%, which is a little bit of a bummer because I really liked Nash in the first book, but it's getting better and we're progressing through. But again, we still have like 300 pages to go, so anything can happen in that time frame. Also, let me update you on the other book that I've been reading. Also via audio, I decided to start Love in the Time of Serial Killers by Alicia Thompson, and this is not doing it for me so far. I'm like 30-ish% of the way through the audiobook. Let me double check on that. So 40% of the way through. So I don't know what page I'm on, but I'm in chapter 11. So let's see here. So I'm somewhere in this zone of the book, and I really love true crime, and I thought that the concept of this book would be really, really good. So I was really looking forward to it, and it has been on like an anticipated reading for me for a while. However, the first third of the book is mostly her being really over dramatic about everything that the neighbor is doing, and really like far-fetched reading into everything that he's doing and like observing him, almost like she's the stalker in some ways. And like she jokes about it a little bit further into the book and says that her brother is saying that she's the one who's being over dramatic. But I don't know, it's getting a little bit better now that I'm in like the 40%, but not, when I was at like the 20-25% mark, I was thinking like I might have to DNF this book. So far it's sitting at like a 2-star. We'll see if it gets better for me. I had really high hopes, so I'm hoping it gets better because there is also like plus size representation here, but then there's this also like this woe is me, like my life is just a mess sort of narrative that's just a little bit over exaggerated in my opinion. But I will update you guys more as I get further into this one, and hopefully further into this one, and I'm trying to end both of these before February is over, so I have to read these two, and I have to finish Divine Rivals, which I'm still only at like 8 or 9%. So I need to get some of these books done. I'm not gonna hit all 8 or 9 of my books that I was gonna read this month, but I think I'm doing pretty good. So I will keep you guys updated, and we will talk soon. Okay, so final update for this reading vlog. I did a terrible job at filming like footage of me reading, but I hope that this vlog has at least a little bit of, sorry, this hair's bothering me, at least a little bit of substance for you guys to enjoy. But I did end up finishing 3 books. So the one that I last updated you on is Things We Hide from the Light by Lucy Score. I did end up giving this, I believe it was like 4 stars. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the plot line. I love that Lucy Score does include that like action adventure element into her romance novels. But again, almost 600 pages for a romance book is just overkill for me, but I did really enjoy it, and in the end I did love Nash and Lena being together, and I liked their love story. So I did rate this 4 stars because Lucy Score's writing is really easy to digest and follow and love, so it did still get a decent rating. And then I think I updated you guys on Love in the Time of Serial Killers that I was listening to via audio, and the first like 25 to 50% part of this book, I was not enjoying it. I thought that the main character was just kind of overkill. She really was like going far out there to somehow decide that this guy is a serial killer when like nothing was pointing in that direction. I did enjoy the second half. I especially enjoyed her brother and her and his girlfriend's like storyline. That was like kind of like half of the story. I really enjoyed that part of the story and book, and that was probably my favorite part of the entire book, which is kind of sad because this book was not following them, it's following Phoebe. But Connor, the brother, does make quite a big impact into the story overall. So yeah, this ended up being a 3-star read. It was cute in the end, but like the first 50% were kind of meh. So I gave it a 3-star. It's not a bad rating, it's just not one that I feel like I would ever like tell people that they absolutely need to read. And then lastly, I told you that I had started Divine Rivals on my Kindle, and I did finish it. And I'm not going to tell you what my rating is for this yet because I'm still kind of sitting on it. I'm not like 100% sure where I'm going to land with it, but I did really enjoy it. This is very interesting because I think it's technically labeled as like fantasy, but I wouldn't say it's necessarily fantasy. I would say it's almost like more magical realism or something along those lines, because I feel like a lot of this is very relatable to our everyday life and our reality. So I'm not exactly sure how you would label it, but I believe it is considered a fantasy. And I really loved our main character in this book. She was just so strong, so different than a lot of female main characters that I've read, and I just absolutely love her. And I mean, I love all of the characters. I really enjoyed Addie coming into this. If you've read it, I really enjoyed Addie's character as well, and Marisol. Like, I loved all of the side characters as much as I loved Iris and Roman. Like, they were all just really strong characters, and they had very well-rounded personalities. So I will have to let you guys know what my final rating is in our February wrap-up. But I'm going to end this vlog here. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you want me to do more of these like monthly reading vlogs where I try to finish my TBR, let me know, because they're fun to make and update you guys on, because I don't really have a lot of people in my like everyday life that I can just share my book thoughts about. So if you guys want to see that, let me know, and I will definitely film more videos like this in the future. But I will see you guys soon.